All right. First and foremost, give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakodash, the blessed of the elders and apostles, great millstone, who rule well, and who is worthy to be counted for double honors. And peace out to you brothers out there pushing the truth wholeheartedly and sincerely and for love of gospel. It's the brothers from the Indianapolis camp. Come back as you get one other sit down. And we're just going to flow from the spirit, open forum. So, did you have something?
Well, I'll read. This is Deuteronomy 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And that's what's shortly about to come to pass. All right, because as Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, we were always supposed to rule. All right, we were always supposed to be in charge and ahead of all these other nations. What's that scripture that says they who wasn't supposed to drink of the cup have drunk of it?
Yeah.
Something along that lines. We always was supposed to represent the righteousness of the Lord on earth and be rewarded in serving him, you know? And those rewards go into being above people, having more money than people, having no sickness, being perfect. All right. This is Jeremiah 49:2. For thus said the Lord Yahweh, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. Right. So the Israelites, our judgment, the word Israel is Yasharallah. He prints power. The angel told Jacob, thou hast power. Matter of fact, we're going to get that real quick. Here you go, God. Let me see. This is Genesis Salakia. Rest.
Can I get something right quick?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is Isaiah chapter 62 and verse 7. It says, and give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that's talking about give him no rest. It's talking about Yahushua, you know, the Father. You know, give them no rest. Basically, continue doing the work, continue praying, continue crying out. You know, until what? Until he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. Because Jerusalem right now is not a praise in the earth. Matter of fact, it talks about in Lamentation, it says other nations hiss and wag their heads, saying, "Is this Israel, the beauty of kingdoms?"
Mm-hmm.
You know, so basically we're being mocked at right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you know no one looks at the so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American as a real threat. You know, that's why they can just kill us in the street and get away with it. Or that's why they can just really do anything to us and not really suffer no type of consequence. That's why also in Jeremiah, I think either the 30th chapter or the 31st chapter, Yahushua said he should come and plead our cause. You know, because we don't have nobody pleading our cause right now. You know.
Khan, I got that with a precept what you call for in Lamentations. Lamentations 2:1. How have the Lord covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger, and cast down from heaven unto the earth the beauty of Israel, and remembered not his footstool in the day of his anger.
Okay.
Right, so we was cast down. Now, until we get set back in the spot where we supposed to be, we got to be like, what was that? Isaiah what?
Isaiah 62 and 7.
Isaiah
62 and 7.
62 and 7. We give them no rest. That's why we do these videos as much and as often as we can, and even to kind of like ramp it up, because that's what the Lord said do. You know.
You know, and then on top of that, when you see the finish line, any racer, if they ever see the finish line, it doesn't the pace doesn't get slower. It actually gets increased. You know, you should actually how's it called put more effort in. You know, so you know, and the finish line is being seen right now. We're seeing that the scriptures that we've been preaching for some X amount of years, and we're actually seeing these scriptures come to pass. You know.
Right.
And now that should, you know, put a fire on us to where that, you know, the kingdom of heaven is not gonna come until every scripture be fulfilled and everything be fulfilled. So if we're seeing things be fulfilled, you know, that's literally just one check off the list, you know. And then once you only have like 2 or 3 more checks, then guess what? You should feel more excited, you know.
I got something for you. Judith 8:24. Now therefore, O brethren, let us show an example to our brethren, because their hearts depend upon us, and the sanctuary, and the house, and the altar rest upon us. So right, that we got a load to we got a responsibility. All right, it says we got to be an example to other brethren, and other brethren that's in the faith that may be at a lower level than you know, or whatever the case may be. It says why? Because their hearts depend upon us. Not every man is their own man, and you know they gonna responsible for themselves, but your life encourages and influences other people.
Right.
You know.
Okay. You got to think. It says faith come by hearing the word, and when we read majority of the scriptures, what are we reading? We're reading basically the deeds of other men. You know, so we're actually reading on how other men act in the faith. You know, and that gives us faith because we're looking how they handle certain situations, how they handle certain things, and then we're looking at it and like, okay, well, yeah, damn, you know, that builds our faith up, you know. So much more now, man. We have, you know, younger brothers that come in the truth, brothers that looks at us as far as like, oh man, you know, these brothers, you know, they do this, they do that, you know, because sometimes, you know, they got that, what's the name, what would Jesus do? But you know, I would switch it up like, well, what will the scripture say? You know,
Right.
like basically whatever situation put you in, what will the scripture say about it? You know, if there's no scripture against it, then you know it's fair game. But you know, and then that's where also counsel gets come in. You know, you ask another brother about, you know, maybe 2 or 3 brothers about the situation, and you know, get what they say about it.
Yeah.
You know,
We're a nation of counsel. You know.
okay.
It says, I got some. Luke 22 and 31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan have desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. Verse 32. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not. And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. See?
You got it.
So, you know, so that's part of the, that also goes back to the scripture, which says, exhort one another daily. All right, let me look up, let me grab that scripture and then look up that word. Salakia. All right, let me see. Exhort daily. I mean, if you ain't had nothing, we can end it on this. Exhort daily. Hebrews 3 and 13. But exhort one another daily while it is called today, lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. Let's look up exhort. Exhort. Parakaleo in the Greek. It says to call to one side, call for summon, to admonish, to beseech, to console, to encourage, and strengthen by consolation, to comfort. Right. So the scriptures, one of the words for the Bible is the comforter. All right, the scriptures, and part of that comfort is the lessons that we as brethren do too, because the lessons that we do is is the scriptures. It's based off the scriptures, you know. And then, you know, we may have an example in our life to add, you know, to make the scriptures, like the scripture says, make it plain upon tables.
Yeah.
All right. So everything you read in the scripture is not necessarily plain, but learned and studied men, from our apostles and elders on down to the measure that the Lord gave every particular brother, can bring some understanding, you know, to other brethren, to strengthen them, you know, whatever.
It talks about the man that traveleth, you know, basically, you know, the journey that a man puts through this truth. He know what certain situations how it's gonna end up, because not only did he see it from probably himself, but he also, you know, witnessed other brothers in their testimony, you know. So I had something. Where's that? Look at the generation of old. I know it's in Sirach, but
2.
it's 2. I thought it was 3. It's 2 and 10. This is Sirach chapter 2 verse 10. It says, "Look at the generation of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and were confounded, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he despise that called upon him?" So yeah, man. So when we read about the different prophets and the different priests and the different men of the scriptures, man, what do we get out of them? We get examples, and we also get faith, you know, because we see how certain men act in their faith, you know, in their faithfulness. You know, we even see how men act when they necessarily thought they were doing right, but the Lord corrected them and still redeemed them. You know, Paul. You know. So hey, so when we read these certain stories and when we read these certain books, you know, we get that faith and we get that built up. You know, oh man, well, this situation is just like this situation. That situation is just like what Abraham went through, or Isaac went through, or Jacob went through, or Ezekiel went through, or Elijah or Elisha. You know, we reading these different men, and then we get examples and we get understanding on it. You know, so when we go through certain things, we can basically give our testimony about it. You know, was that all you had?
Beautiful.
Okay. All right. Well, Lord willing, we hope this video was edifying for you brothers out there. We're going to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakodash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom. Peace to brothers.
Shalom.